Hello there. Now take heed, Keir Starmer. The Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is out to combat religious radicalisation and what some people term as Islamic separatism. And here she is. She's the one that's going to be doing this and putting it all forward. Her party, the Brothers of Italy, has introduced draft laws to ban face coverings like the burqa and the niqab in public places like educational institutions, commercial establishments and offices, reports the FT. And also we have the Telegraph saying, Meloni proposes burqa ban. Italian PM's bill imposes fines for wearing Islamic garments in schools, universities, shops and offices. Yes. And also we have the Visegrad 24 have also come in on this one as well in an ex-post saying, breaking, Meloni introduces new bill to combat Islamist and cultural separatism. Full burqa and niqab ban in all public places, streets, schools, shops and offices. All mosque financing must be disclosed. Foreign funding considered a threat to Italian values and will be banned. I mean, how absolutely, oh dear, how terrible. And you can imagine that the left is out there having an absolute meltdown over this, can't you, Richard?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's like you'd swear that Italy was trying to defend its soil and its own culture or something. Yes, I can't think why they'd be doing this. I mean, you know, it's like, well, I mean, can you imagine Keir Starmer doing that? Can you imagine our new Home Secretary being behind that? In fact, didn't Mohammed Zia Youssef temporarily resign from Reform because Sarah Pochin, the Reform MP, was talking about banning the burqa? And he said, no, it's not policy. And very soon after, he resigned, I believe. I could be wrong there, but I don't think I am.
No, you're right. He went off in a bit of a huff, but he was back 48 hours later as their Doge person. Department of Government Efficiency thing. Yes. And he still seems to be in charge, though. But we'll talk about that at some other point. Yes, but I've got to point out on this Italian thing, there's more. There's the introduction of fines for those that are active in the propaganda of principles that conflict with the protection of fundamental freedoms and state security, and prison sentences of 4 to 10 years for non-consensual arranged marriages. Now, those that wish to keep women veiled say that it is the woman's choice and the state must not intervene. With Yassine Lafram, president of the Union of Islamic Communities of Italy, saying, any legislative measures that impose blanket bans risk creating social tensions and discrimination rather than fostering integration and dialogue. However, I will remind people that the European Courts of Human Rights have, on many occasions, ruled that a ban on face coverings is legitimate and justified for the sake of social harmony. But why do we have to rely on the ECHR? We as a nation know what's best for us, don't we? What do you reckon, Richard?
Yes, indeed we do. And I can imagine that Keir Starmer is, as I said, watching this with hawk and eagle eyes. He's looking like a hawk and he's like, right, okay. Right then, well, what shall we do then about this? Oh dear, we can't actually do anything because of our voter base would not be happy if we did something about the burqa. So it's quite acceptable here in Britain. We have freedom of speech, but and you can you can cover yourself all day and all night. It just doesn't matter. Yeah. But you know, one of the interesting things is you know, asking for full financial disclosure, like who funds mosques, for instance. And in fact, Donald Trump himself has done some quite interesting, bit of an interesting little press conference quite quite recently talking about Antifa and who's funding them, and he's going to have them completely banned. That's going to happen. There are here in the UK, everything's fine. Yes, we can have the Muslim Brotherhood, Oh, yes, we prescribed Palestine Action Group, but, we're not. You can chant from the river to the sea at the same time. It's okay. We'll only arrest a few people, token arrest. They probably won't get jail. They just, get a bit of a slap on the wrist. That's what we're looking at here, Jeff. But in America and in Italy, things are very different. And I can tell you now, the left are absolutely in meltdown of it. And the thing is, the left will be in meltdown here in the UK about this because they know it's coming here soon. Because Labour are not going to be in power for long. It's either going to be the Tories aren't going to get it. Yeah. It's either going to be reform or, don't rule out advance UK. Don't rule them out.
Yep. Now, as you said, Donald Trump is taking aim at the hard, woke internationalist communists. He's going after the completely inappropriately named Antifa, anti-fascist my backside. And if you want to see what he said, we've got it here.
To work with your administration as the Secretary of State's here, are you going to work with your administration to designate it a foreign terror organization?
You mean a terror?
Antifa? A foreign terror organization.
Well, has that been done? Pretty close, right? Would you like to see it done?
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you think it would help?
They have foreign links
I'd be glad
all
to
across
do it.
Western
I think it's
Europe.
the kind of thing I'd like to do. If you'd like, does
Middle
everybody
East.
agree? If you agree, I agree. Let's get it done. Okay? Let's get it done. Marco, we'll take care of it.
Mr. President.
That's international, you mean?
Yes.
International.
Mr. President.
Sounds good to me.
Foreign terror organization.
Steve, are you okay with it?
Yes, it's true. There are extensive foreign ties, and I think that would be a very valid step to take.
Good, I think so too.
Yes.
Good, I think it's a good point. Thank you.
Oh, dear me. That's upset a few people, doesn't it? Yeah. I love the way you would just go around the table. Are you going to do this? What do you think? Oh, yes. Yeah, you think. Yeah. Brilliant.
Absolute class.
Yeah. It's just, that's how you do it. You just take the battle to them and just, and it has to be done at some point. It really does, doesn't it?
Oh, but I mean, the left are going to be, there's something else they're going to be in utter meltdown over, though. What has Donald Trump gone and done by bringing peace to Gaza, potentially? Oh, my days, They can't go on they can't go into their virtue signaling from the river to the sea. Little marches. Yeah, they can't be doing that anymore. And, I just think of all those people, one in particular, actually, who resigned from Labour there. So not resigned from Labour, but got rid of their Labour Party membership. Tore it up because of Starmer and the Labour government's attitude towards Palestine. Yeah. And yet, here we are. Here we are. And guess who sorted it out? Donald Trump. Donald Trump did it. Oh, dear. Oh, having a bit of a meltdown, are we, sweetie? Yes, that's right. Mr. Trump has potentially just gone and got himself a little bit of a Nobel Peace Prize coming up there, Jeff. What do you reckon? Jeff, you're muted, by the way. Yes, it does help if we can hear you.
Muted. Sorry, I'm trying to see what I'm doing on the back end here. Yes, so yes, and talking about he's bringing peace to Gaza. Now, what was it? Was it Julia Hartley-Brewer said something about that, didn't she? If I remember rightly.
Oh, yes, I think she did,
If I can
yes.
find it. If it's here somewhere. It's always the same way when you're running around. Let's see if that one. I just want to make sure it is the one. Oh, yes, this is the one that tickled. Oh, I've got to show you this one. This is Julia Hartley-Brewer, who put out on X the following, and I am going to find it. Come hell or high water. There we go.
This is called Jeffnology.
Yes, it is Jeffnology. So Julia Hartley-Brewer said, so if this Trump peace plan goes ahead and Hamas frees the hostages while Israel ends the bombing, withdraws the IDF to agreed lines and sends in more aid, then the protesters on our streets will be happy, right? They'll end their marches and protests, right? They'll be cheering for peace, right? They'll stop attacking British Jews, accusing them of responsibility for the genocide that isn't happening, right? Because it's the innocent children in Gaza they care about, right? Well, I somehow doubt that little that statement, but yeah, in fact, I did do a video of that, and I put it up on the main channel. I mean, I could show that right now, what I actually said about it. So if I find the video, this is a short video that I put up. It's not.
That's a good idea, Jeff. Let's watch that. Let's have Jeff watching Jeff. I like this idea. This is fantastic. Jeff's reaction. Let's do a Jeff reaction to Jeff.
Oh dear, I've got to find the right one though. Yeah, this is what I. This is what I.
It's not technology, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here we go.
Well done, Donald Trump. Not only has he initiated a realistic plan to bring peace to the Middle East, he's also pulled the rug from under the feet of those troublesome, pesky, weekly pro-Pally marchers. Yes, there is now no need for those tiresome marches that trudge continuously through London, bleating on about from the river to the sea and prattling on about the 48. They can now disband in the happy knowledge their services are no longer required. And to assist them in this, the government and or the police can ban those protests as superfluous. Let's see those people now get out there and protest to unite the kingdom and to secure a real hard-hitting grooming gang inquiry. Trump's success to date also has the added benefit of giving Greta the Goblin Thunberg the opportunity to do something useful, like volunteering to work for free with the United Nations in rebuilding Gaza. Let's see her and her virtue-signalling Sumud flotilla shipmates all buckling down to a bit of hard labour to support their cause. What say you? It also reduces the radicalisation factor where breeding new, overzealous religious types are concerned, doesn't it? At this rate, Trump is a shoo-in for at least one Nobel Peace Prize and an honorary knighthood for cleaning out London.
He's pretty good, he is. I quite like him. Yes,
what a sensible chat we have there. We'll have him on again.
Yes. Yeah, great idea, Jeff. Yeah. I bet he's been rehearsing that one all afternoon.
Something like that, yes. But the point here is that now we have this peace thing, and the Hamas has agreed to it. Yeah. Then we will have peace, and it'll all go ahead, and there'll be no reason for all these. We could put down the Palestine flag, can't we? For good, it's gone. It's you can now send them all to Gaza, and they can hang them up there. Marvelous.
Yeah. So there's a comment here by Jaffuli Parchers, whatever. That's AI Jeff. So that's AI Jeff is brilliant, lol. No. Oh, honestly, genuine. That is not AI. That is Jeff. That's Jeff in full focus mode. It's really not AI. We've had these comments since before AI was a thing. Even when
didn't we?
Even when AI was producing spaghetti. What was it? Will Smith eating spaghetti, the original version. If you've ever seen that, which is absolutely dreadful. Even then, they were saying that Jeff's a robot. He's not. He's a real person. He's just got a very different way of approaching his videos, and it's very charming. Incidentally, I think. Yeah, there we go.
Actually, the whole thing, just to let people know, the whole thing was sort of modelled on the 1960s newsreader that used to read from a sheet of paper and look up, read, look up. And that's all they did. They made no comment, didn't smile, they just read the news. Hence the term news reader. And I wanted to bring a bit of that back, but actually I much prefer doing this, the old anchorman approach.
Absolutely.
With dual anchors on a show. But sometimes when you want to get information across very quickly and succinctly, the single talking head straight to camera is the best way of doing it. But there
absolutely.
You go.
Yeah. Yes. And we're very sorry that we're a little bit late today as well, ladies and gentlemen. A few technical difficulties. But we are normally trying to be here for 5:45, 5:45, 5:45.
Yeah.
Remember that. And press like on this video right about now. It will help a lot if you can do that. Press like and subscribe if you want to.
would,
But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, but Jeff, earlier on what you were saying is absolutely correct. All these people will be wanting, obviously, who've been marching on the streets now, will be wanting to go to Gaza to help rebuild it. And fantastic. This is such good news.
They can buy a trowel. They could buy a trowel and take it with them. Take some tools with them, sledgehammers and stuff.
Well, there's no
break
reason
some
for them
rocks.
Exactly. There's no reason for that because they're all celebrating. The thing is, right, Jeff, they are actually celebrating in Gaza right now. There are mass celebrations taking place. They're happy with this. Okay. So if anybody else actually goes out and starts marching in the streets, and continues to chant from the river to the sea, then you know that there's something else behind this. Something very sinister. The thing is, most of those people on these marches don't want a two-state solution. They don't want it. They want a one-state solution, and Israel is not one of the states there. It'll no longer be a state. That is what they're after. So we'll wait and see. But I mean, just think about it. Donald Trump bringing peace to Gaza. Oh, that's going to really wind them up. Oh, total meltdown. I can hear it now.
Yeah, these protesters, you've got to remember, these are the people that just recently, I mean, we're only talking about months, a year or so, they were there in their orange, weren't they? Stopping the traffic, gluing themselves to any piece of art they could find and all the rest of it, and supergluing themselves to stuff. And the roads, they were walking slowly. They were trying to completely wreck our economy and the net zero stuff and all the rest of it. And they were all there, weren't they, doing that? And suddenly they found Gaza. Gaza saved them because the people were getting a bit fed up with them in their stop oil suits, weren't they? Getting really hacked off with them. They were coming in for some bad press. So what they had to do was switch targets, which is what these people do. Now, what we really need is some form of lottery on what do we think they're going to go for next. These people, they've got loads of spare time on their hands. They don't have jobs.
They have to,
and they have funding. They have funding coming in from all sorts of places, so you get their free bus rides to London. They probably not toddle off down the shops afterwards to stock up on stuff before they get back in the bus to get back home. It's a free trip to London, So what are they going to be doing next? There must be something on the horizon for them to have a go at next.
Well, Jeff, these are the same people, though, that during the lockdowns, these were the industrial mask wearers. Do you remember those people who used to wear masks when they were driving in a car by themselves? Do you remember them? Yeah, and some people would. Do you remember that thing? Double masking. Oh, okay. Yeah. These are. I remember being in a shop and a guy came on to me. He said, "You're supposed to have your mask on." I was like, "Really? Oh, okay. I haven't got a mask." And he said, "Well, I can get you a mask." I'm like, "No, you're okay. You're okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. Yeah. It was all rubbish. It was absolute nonsense, Jeff. The whole thing. We now know that they didn't stop transmission of anything or stop you inhaling anything. And these are the same people as well, incidentally. First of all, they used to have, they've probably still got it, many of them, on their Facebook profile says still European. Oh, sweet. Yeah. Still European here. Okay. And then, of course, what else can I vote you with now? Oh, yeah. We've got a new one. Yeah. I've had my arm intervention. Yeah. I've had I've had my second. Oh, you've had your second one, have you? I've had 3 now. That means I'm fully, even though people are still have on their 7th now. There are many people 7th,
yes, there are
9th. Yeah. I did hear about one guy who had 25 of them. 25! Good grief.
Yeah.
He must be more that than human now.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yes. I'm talking about Europe. It's quite funny, actually, because a story came out and it sort of brought back the sort of shades from the past pre-Brexit, because we now have the Polish president, Karol Nawrocki, telling the EU Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, that his country will refuse to let illegal migrants relocate into Poland. And this is what TVP World said about this. Poland will not accept any EU initiative to relocate illegal migrants to its territory, President Karol Nawrocki has told European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Now, the previous times that I used to talk a lot about Ursula von der Leyen was during the post-Brexit negotiations. You know, and that it was constant. Suddenly, I was looking at this story today, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember her. It's like they haven't had the impact on our lives that the Ramonas wanted them to have. Anyway, TVP went on to say, in a letter published on the president's official website on Thursday, Nawrocki, a right-winger, said the safety of European citizens must come first and that Poland will not agree to any actions by European institutions that would aim to settle illegal migrants in Poland. Oh. Well, I've got to say, looking after your own people. No.
Oh,
Hasn't he read the government's skeleton argument to that Epping inquiry, saying that, you know, the rights, the human rights of the newcomers far outweigh the rights of the British, and if you're in the European Union, it must be 10 times that, mustn't it, Richard?
Yeah. I mean, are they? Here's the thing. Okay, so I'm looking at other countries in Europe, right? Countries like Poland, countries like Hungary, which are EU member states. And then I'm starting to see what's happening in Italy. And I think France has already banned the burqa as well. And you're seeing all these movements, what's happening, you know, yes, you know, in the Netherlands. And you're going, oh, all right. Okay, so all these lefties who love the EU and are still European, are you happy to be attached to that still? Are you really like, yeah, come on, EU, you know, this is the EU that you love? Oh, really? So you do agree with Meloni, do you? And you agree with what Poland and Hungary are doing? Oh, okay. And you like Geert Wilders as well? Fantastic. Maybe the Overton window's changed so much, Jeff, that, you know, it's changed so much that even the liberal lefties are starting to think that way, although I think not. There must be some incredible cognitive dissonance going on with the liberal left at the moment. They must be like, none of this makes sense, does not compute. You know, Europeans are lovely, they're not right-wing, they're not... Oh, shut up. Idiots.
Well, it's actually, I'm sort of wondering whether it's this basic they lost and don't like it, and they're going to keep on trying as they sort of sink into the swamp of losing and disappear forever. You know, I just, yeah. Because, as you say, this goes against the whole of grand EU plans to force EU member states to take illegals, so reducing the pressure on states like Italy. That's what the whole plan is by EU Central, is to just spread them out, and they want us to be part of it, and so does Starmer. Hence this one in, one out thing. It'll turn into, we'll just take what you give us in the end. It's just ridiculous. And these huge numbers are coming from, you know, places like Libya in North Africa, coming across on the boats from there. Libya, you know, that country where the slave trade wasn't abolished, where it still goes on. But we have planks in this country trying to tell us that the most important part of slavery is something that happened 300, 400, 500 years ago. That's the most important part. Anything that happens today, any slavery that happens today, can just ignore it. Don't worry about it now. Just ignore it. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is that I think Italy, what they're doing there, I mean, Meloni, she's not looking to ban a religion more than anything. She's actually looking to ban imported submission. Okay, now that's the thing. This is a change of tact. This is, it's like the burqa isn't it isn't a culture. Okay, it's a cover, and there are face coverings and head coverings in Iran, and the brave women there, like in I keep saying My Stealthy Freedom, a Facebook page, which is I haven't looked at it for a little while, but you've got women there who are taking their head coverings off for freedom, trying to get something resembling normality in their existence instead of having to, hide themselves. And when they do that, they face arrest and some pretty diabolical things that could, and in many cases, death. And they do that. They're so brave, the Iranian women. I can't speak highly enough of them. And yet you've got planks in this country who defend that, who defend women's rights to wear the burqa. I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? This is... and it's not even actually a religious... This is more of a cultural covering. This isn't specifically a religious covering. This is quite a nuanced and complicated situation, although a certain religion has adopted this quite severely. That's the other side of it.
Yes, you're right. It's quite funny because a lot of these moves made by us is to try and modernize religions to become more I don't know, or less autocratic and less violent in their aims of converting everybody to their religion. But it does seem to be quite hard. Christianity has managed in the main to defeat that whole thing.
Well, hang on, Jeff. Religion shouldn't need modernizing. Okay, that's the thing. Why should a religion modernize? For what reason? Okay, either the religion stands the test of time, and and it is there, and what it proposes is a good moral bedrock for a society, or it isn't. Okay, that's the thing. Why does Christianity need modernizing? If you actually go to the early church and see what they believed, when you actually go to, again, the Orthodox Church, for instance, and see what they're practicing the same thing that they have practiced since the apostles. So, but there are other religions which, for some reason, require a little bit of tweaking and modernizing. And when we say modernizing, this is the important bit, Jeff, that has to be realized. When we say modernizing, what we're saying is brought into more of a Western way of thinking and brought up to date in a Western way of thinking. And the Western way of thinking is basically based, because Western civilization is the history of Christianity. It is a Christian-influenced belief system. So by modernizing other faiths, effectively what you're doing is you're saying that religion or this religion needs to be a bit more... needs to have the bedrock and the foundation of Christianity. That's what we're saying. So in many respects, yes, probably many religions do need modernizing. But there we go.
That was my point. I just wasn't picking any particular religion. Some people would argue that the Orthodox Church needs modernizing, because it doesn't have female priests.
Well, yeah, okay. That's that, but that's what the Orthodox Church is. Look, at the end of the day, neither does Islam. Islam doesn't have female priests either, or imams. It's
but that's okay. But that's okay.
Yes, of course. Yes. Yes, it's just a Christian author. Yes, there's
yes,
the Orthodox. Yes. And Catholics, yes, indeed.
Yes. Yes. At the end of the day, it is up to democratic sovereign nations to decide what they do, what their people vote, what their people vote for, and not have it foisted on by the likes of the UN, the WEF, or the European Union, as far as I'm concerned. Yes. So that's what...
Well, Farage is called the burqa anti-British. I mean, I'm not saying it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that the burqa is a bad thing or a good thing. I wouldn't dare do that. It's none of my business. It's absolutely not whatsoever. However, there are plenty of women in the world who are giving their lives right now for the right to be able to show their heads, to not wear such religious coverings. And that needs to be thought about and taken into account.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
What's happening? What's going on in the world, Jeff? It's just crazy.
Yeah, I know. But it's also got to a sort of a point in time here where certain people just think that they have the right to rule over us and just come here and be violent or pushy and just get their way. They think it's their right. Last night there was a pink protest outside the offices of the Tower Hamlets Council building where the councillors were debating how nasty and right-wing the pink protest mothers and grandmothers were for wanting to protect their children and grandchildren. And the police were required to keep the so-called anti-fascists away from the pink protesters. This is a turning point Pink Ladies protest video that from last night's affair. I'll just play this to you. Pushing against the police.
You're crazy! You're crazy! Yes, you are mental! Well, I'm not allowed in the streets. I'm not saying you're allowed. The very multicultural district of Whitechapel. I'm not saying you're allowed.
You get the idea. They're pushing against the police, trying to get through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now just compare this to the last pink protest that I went to. Was it last week? I think it was in London. And these are the people that they're calling fascist and nasty and far right and all the rest of it. I'll just show you this video. There's no sound to it because it was very loud music and it was wasn't coming through very well anyway, so I've just cut that off. So here they are having a good old time. You know, they're there making their point known and all the rest of it. Yeah, so they're having a good time.
Well, do you know what, Jeff?
There? Is that David Atherton there in the middle?
It could be. Yeah, it looks a bit like him.
Yeah, and young Bob as well. Oh, and they're dancing. Yeah. They're having a great time. Yeah,
that must be. Yeah, that's that. Isn't that that far right dance that they all do? Yeah, it's sort of like it's something I think that the Hitler Youth used to do. Yeah, it must. Yeah. Yeah, really awful thing that they're doing. Look, in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, look at those ladies. You know, those and gentlemen there, and even children. What are they there for? They are there because they have concerns. That's all, legitimate concerns. It's their legitimate right to protest. They're doing nothing wrong. What's the problem? What is the problem?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get. How are they far right?
We're meant to put up with them shouting and screaming about genocide against Israel and the Jews, aren't we? We're meant to put up with that as they go along from the river to the sea. Which river and sea, I don't know. But that's what they do, isn't it? And we're meant to put up with all that rubbish.
Did you manage? I don't know if you managed to. Did you manage to get hold of that video I sent of Sadiq Khan to you? You didn't manage to get that one down, did you?
Yes. The Susan Hall one.
Yes. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I have. I mean, I can... the only thing, just before we leave the pink protest and go on to that one,
go on.
I will say that I think the pink protesters are beginning to worry people because they're the ladies. They're the sort of ladies of a certain age, the grandmothers and the great-grandmothers. And when they start doing that, we know we've got a problem and we know it's got to be dealt with. And the men know they've got to step up to the mark.
Exactly, Jeff. Exactly. The men of this country are getting a very strong sense of that. Like, everywhere I go, you know, somebody will come on to me and say, "Oh, hi, Rich," you know, it's like blah blah blah. Things are going to turn tasty in this country. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, I hope not. Which I do. I hope not. But as you rightly said, when the women of this country are, I mean, the thing is, it's like if they crack down hard on elderly women and on the pink ladies who, oh dear, that's when this country, something dreadful could happen then, and I don't want to think about it. Awful.
Yeah,
I can't even talk about it. I can't even say what I think would happen. I can't even say what I think about what would happen.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, I'm now going to move on to this story about Sadiq Khan. Let's just add this one so you can see what we're on about.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely, this is. I saw this and I was like, that is dynamite.
Right, here we go.
Here because you will not do anything about this, and shame on you because our Jewish community need looking after, and as Mayor of London you are not doing that. We have had these anti-Semitic comments constantly from these hate marches, and you don't comment on that at all. But last month you said politicians have refused to condemn the rising tide of hatred in this country, so you should be happy to condemn the behaviour we saw at these pro-Palestinian protests. Do you think to scream from the river to the sea, which they're doing during these hate marches, is appropriate? Do you think it is anti-Semitic?
Okay, I don't think it's anti-Semitic, and I think it's all about context. I couldn't be clearer in my remarks in relation to my concern about the fear, the increased fear Jewish Londoners and Jewish people across the globe are feeling. I've gone out of my way since October the 7th, 2023, to reassure Jewish Londoners and Jewish people across the country and across the...
But they don't feel reassured. How can they feel reassured? I tell you what, I'll finish here because you will not do anything about this, and shame on you because our Jewish community need looking after, and as Mayor of London you are not doing that.
Correct. Absolutely 100% correct there, that woman. Yeah, Susan Hall, isn't it? Absolutely spot on, Jeff. You're muted, by the way, mate. Yeah, absolutely spot on. How he's got the audacity to say that he's done so much to, you know, reassure Jewish people up and down the country. Oh, yeah, really. You know, the audacity of the man.
Yes.
He is allowed in the capital city anti-Semitism, genocidal chants to be broadcast quite regularly. But we know where his moral standings are because, you know, he doesn't understand what I mean by grooming. You know, he doesn't understand about what issue in London. Isn't it? You know, oh
yeah, yes. Anyway, thank you, Gary Plain, for your contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes, and sort of talking a bit about this pro-Pali sort of thing, the pro-Palestine and the sort of total deafness to whatever's going on and blindness. I just have to sort of point out that this next one is going to have the pro-Pali Holocaust deniers in a bit of a tailspin, because from the Times, if I can remove that one.
Here we go.
Here we go with some... let's
Come on,
start
Jeff.
again. Here we go. Anti-Semitic doctors are to be banned from treating patients. Wes Streeting to update legislation so that doctors accused of misconduct are stripped of their right to practice while under investigation. So as soon as someone makes a complaint about a doctor being anti-Semitic, they will be banned immediately from treating patients even before any investigation has completed. And that, of course, has upset some people. For some reason, she's on Twitter, Dr. Rame Aladwan said, a doctor can harm a British patient and get a hearing, accuse a doctor of anti-Semitism, and they're gone. That's the hierarchy. That's Jewish supremacy.
What
This
the hell?
is Britain.
That
Yeah,
is
she is
what?
She is one of those that has been is alleged to have made all sorts of remarks about there not ever having been a Holocaust and stuff like that. And if I was a
Really?
Jew going into the NHS, yeah, I wouldn't want anything.
Well, Jeff,
yeah.
I can tell you first-hand experience. Years ago, many years ago, I was talking to a doctor up at Prince Charles Hospital in Merthyr Tydfil. I knew her, and I was talking to her, and she knew that I was, I had half Iranian, and we were having a chat, and she was Arabic, and I also just happened to mention that I had at the time a Jewish girlfriend, and she turned round and she said to me, she said, well, you need to end that now, and we need less Jews, and you need to just get out of that relationship now. I thought, bloody hell. I mean, okay, it wasn't exactly the best relationship, to say the least, but, I mean, wow, just based on that. And in fact, she did to say a few other comments, which were, let's just say, a little bit genocidal as well. So I have first-hand experience of hearing this articulated by a practicing doctor in the NHS. This was a very long time ago, but still, I don't suppose the situation has got any better since that time. Let's just say that.
Yes, I picked up, someone sent me a video from GB News earlier this year. It was actually back in May, and I had missed it. And this guy said to me, how the hell did he miss it? And I thought, that's interesting. So I had a watch, and it was about public money being spent on trying to convert people to a certain religion.
Okay.
And it was, and they could send out stuff and publish stuff within the NHS saying it would be a good thing if you and help in how to tell friends at the right time that you were converting. All this sort of stuff that if a Christian wanted to do that in the NHS, they would be thrown out on their ear immediately.
Oh, yes. Well, loads of Christian nurses have been banned from working just for wearing a cross. Or one nurse said to another nurse, I believe, a work colleague, spoke to them about, have you thought about, becoming a Christian, whatever, just a work colleague saying, I mean, let's remember, this is Britain, it's a Christian country, what the effing hell is wrong with doing that? But there we go. But anyway, that nurse, she lost her job, from what I can gather, from what I can remember and recall.
Yeah.
Absolutely makes me sick. Go on, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks again, Gary Plain. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gary.
And, yes, it just does annoy me when, it was all one-way traffic, isn't it? And we're still accepting it. We're still putting up with it. We're not doing anything about it. Our governments are doing nothing about it. So, I get fed up with all of that sort of rubbish. But there you go. Oh, and then I came across this on X, and I couldn't believe that it was still there. That this sort of stuff, I wouldn't put up anything like this in any shape or form. From Omar, a ceasefire is cool, but wiping Israel off the world map is even better.
Well, there we go, Jeff.
That's the sort of stuff that gets allowed. That these people, well, I can say that because I'm yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, however, for balance, what we must say is that some terrible things are said by people on the extreme far right as well. So we have to say that because we have to. Otherwise, yeah. So and it's true, there are some terrible things. Yeah. Well, maybe we do. Maybe I really want to say that. Maybe I really, really wanted to say that, or maybe I didn't. Anyway, Jeff, you're absolutely spot on here, and I don't know. I'm looking at the comments that people make on social media at the moment from the far left, because I do scour comments on various social media platforms, and it is quite frightening. And I'm sorry, it's not the same in frequency and level of disgustingness. That's what I'm trying. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah,
compared to the people on what we were.
Good word.
Yeah, compared to those people on the right, the rhetoric from the left right now is starting to get a little bit. It's getting a bit over the top, and I can't justify it. I can't. Sorry, I can't see how they can justify it.
No.
You know, you just showed a perfect example there, Jeff. You've got the pink ladies who are there peacefully protest, and then you got those animals. That's the only way to describe them, who are trying to push forward through the police lines. And I think, what are you doing? It's almost as if they want to commit harm to the pink ladies. If that happened, well, it appears that way. I'm not saying they were, but it has the appearance of, because if that were to happen, we'd be living in a very different country within 48 hours, probably. A very, very different country.
Yeah. And thank you again, Gary. Is that the third one?
Gary.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. God bless you. Thank you.
And then A7, thank you very much. Saw a post with a youngster saying he is a Christian and he loves it. And someone said, by year 6, you will be the other religion. If that was the other way round, they would be sacked. Yes, I saw that is it in the press? Somewhere. I can't remember where I saw that.
Yes, it was.
But I did see
I think it's on GB News. I think
a young kid said he was a Christian and he likes being a Christian. But oh no, he was, because, that's right, yes. They wanted him, they were trying to encourage him to go to an Islamic service. And he said, I don't need to go to an Islamic service because I'm a Christian and I like being a Christian. And that wasn't the correct answer, was it? We need to hunt these people down, metaphorically, and get them out of education. We really do. Yeah. These people are an absolute danger to this country and its cohesiveness. And it really riles me. It's not like if they tried to force a Muslim child to go into a church and kneel and do all the stuff like they make Christians do when they go into...
Or a Buddhist child.
Anything like that.
Or a Hindu child. Or a Sikh child. Whatever, or a Zoroastrian child. Or a pagan child. Yes.
Or a Wicca. Or a Wicca. Or a Wicca.
A Wiccan child. Yes.
Anyone, it would be completely different. Yeah. So, no. It's this is not right at all. And it does make your blood boil a bit, doesn't it? Yes. And then we have Nadia Yalom. Has anyone heard of Nadia Yalom? Well, I'll just show you a picture of her. Do you remember her?
Oh, yes. Yes.
So she was the one that was caught cutting down the yellow ribbons, in remembrance of the that were put there in remembrance of the October the 7th, 2023 incident. And she just went up and started snipping away. Now, she is a Palestinian Jewish PhD student. And she said, you're not going to do this. I'm not committing a crime. If I am, call the police and you let them know what you have an issue with, basically. So the police are looking into this, but I think there's a lot of thought about whether that's a public railing or what. Was it dedicated to this or I don't know. And there's but
out of common decency,
anything will happen.
Jeff.
But common decency isn't law.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the fact is that common decency, she should not be doing that out of respect, because each one of those ribbons it's meant to be there to represent somebody who died in October 7th. Let me tell you something now, Jeff, right? If there were ribbons put up, near me, commemorating, say, all the children who had passed away in the conflict in Gaza, I would, I wouldn't take them down. I'd probably stop there and have a pray for a moment for those children who, lost their lives. Because that's what decent people do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're meant to think, this is representing something sacred. It's like the monuments, the cenotaph. These are sacred places. That is a sacred place there to many people, especially Jewish people. They'd be looking at that. And again, what message does that send out to Jewish people when you've got a woman like that doing that? It's awful. Dreadful, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you're right to say that we should be praying for the children of Gaza who are being fed by Hamas into that grinder.
Absolutely. Do you know what, right? There are some things that are not binary as far as I'm concerned in this world. One is and one of the examples I give for that is the sympathy we should have towards the children of Gaza, because what they have experienced and gone through is unimaginable. Absolutely unimaginable. I'm not going to say. I was going to say, just like the children that happened on October the 7th, that's a given. And I shouldn't have to justify one side with another, because that's just because that diminishes and takes away from what the suffering those children in Gaza have gone through. And I lay the blame there firmly at the feet of Hamas, and not just Hamas, of the Iranian regime, the oppressive Iranian regime that has destroyed the lives of Iranians since 1979. And that's where the blame lies. And also, incidentally, the blame also lies with those idiots who have gone out on the streets protesting, effectively supporting Hamas. The blame lies with them. Those people who are there with their fake outrage at what's happened at Gaza. Mind you, I've got to say, maybe there is a point here which needs to be made. And it goes against a lot of what I've said before, but maybe those people who have been protesting, let's play devil's advocate here for a moment, Jeff, and it has to be done. It really does. Maybe those people who have been protesting and shouting from the river to the sea and all these things, maybe they don't understand the truth of the matter. Maybe they're just ill-informed. If they knew the truth of what has taken place between Israel and Gaza, and Israel and, for instance, the Houthis and Hezbollah, if they understood that, if they understood the proxy war that's taking place, if they actually could understand it, maybe they would take a very different position, or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they are just genuinely, because this is the alternative. Those people then otherwise are just genuinely anti-Semites. That's it. There's no grey area there. But we should always pray for those poor kids. They've been through hell on earth. I watched a very heartbreaking thing on Tucker Carlson, where he was a soldier saying, there's this young kid who came up to him, and a kid from Gaza, and he kissed the hands of the soldier. And, when food was being given out, and he walked away, and apparently it was gunfire from Israel that took the life of that young lad. I don't think it was intentionally. It was just apparently it was sloppy. But whatever. Horrific situation, Jeff. Yeah. Lives have been lost in dreadful ways. No, I know. And I will say this. Of late, I've not been too much of a fan of a lot of what Tucker Carlson has said. But at the same time, he does say he speaks some truth. But it's just you've got a situation where you have two lots of people who are at war. They don't. Trump said this. He had it spot on. He said, you've got two lots of people who are just so used to fighting and being at war with each other. They don't know how to be. They don't know how to do any middle ground, we'll call it, or restraint. And then again, you then have to ask yourself, how do you restrain yourself against a group of people who did what was done on October the 7th. This is such a nuanced debate and conversation. But yes, let's please pray for and remember the victims in Gaza, the children. They are victims. But I have to say, before anything, for me, I have to just pause and remember what happened on October 7th. There's no justification of that. We showed a video yesterday in our live stream where you saw the people cheering and celebrating what was happening in Israel. Many times I've seen footage of people in Gaza. They were celebrating with live streams as it was taking place. The October the 7th atrocity was taking place, and you think, what kind of people are you to do that? We're talking about a society that is utterly brutalized through war. And this is a spiritual war. This is utterly satanic, what is taking place. We must remember that. Sorry, Jeff, over to you.
Yeah, someone actually pointed out, they said that during the Second World War, the Germans or the German hierarchy did everything they could to hide what they were doing. They hid it. And it came as a bit of a shock when the British soldiers turned up at that first camp, and they had to get the cameras out, and it was just whereas in Gaza, Hamas are openly celebrating it.
Yeah.
What a difference. What a total difference.
Yeah,
anyway, I'm going to get back to this lady here. She is studying for a doctorate in some really weird stuff. She's an Arts Council-funded PhD student with the Centre for Research and Education in Arts and Media, called CREAM, in the University of Westminster. And she's looking into the issue of haunting and the supernatural in Palestinian territories, with her bio saying, Nadia Dina Yalom is a Palestinian Jewish and British artist and visual anthropologist looking at hauntedness, supernatural life, and the bio-necropolitical between Palestine and the UK. Her research and practice considers how humans, artifacts and landscapes reverberate with colonial violence.
Wait, whoa.
Arts Council funded. Not much art in being that repulsive, is there?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm utterly flabbergasted at that. I mean, I need this. Okay. It just goes to show how our halls of education and culture and the arts, how they've been completely infiltrated. I've seen what it can do to people myself firsthand. I saw what it did to one person who went to Edinburgh University, who is watching this live stream right now. Yeah. And it is totally evil what it did. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, yeah. So, I just look around and I despair at some, if not all of this sort of rubbish that's going on at the moment. It does depress me, but we have to keep moving on. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep trying to not just salvage, but actually repair. Not just salvage, we've got to repair this country.
Yes, Jeff, do we have a different image coming up now?
Have we? Which one?
No, do we?
Well, I did have some prepared, but because of the size of the data bank in this system, it only allows me to put in so many, so I've had to leave some out, I'm afraid.
Well, let's take that one down then, because I don't want to see that abomination of a ritual, an act which he's doing there any further. Okay, it makes me sick, it does. Absolutely sick. Yeah. How far we have fallen as a society.
Yeah, someone put a comment up here. I can't find it now. Something about having a cross around their neck at work and told to take it off. No jewellery to be, because working in the NHS, I think it was. But it's quite funny that some religions or some people do get special uniforms and special stuff to allow them to, but whereas a Christian can't just wear a cross. I don't know. Because it's not, the cross is not meant to be part of Christianity or something. I haven't quite worked that one out. It seems to be a bit of a central thing to all the whole process, but there you go. Yes. And someone said we should have sympathy with people, but not with the Hamas terrorists. Absolutely. They're the ones that are driving all of this.
Yeah. They're the ones who are behind the deaths of children in Gaza. That's who's behind it. I'm sorry, and if you don't understand why, there's not, and you haven't researched it, or if you have researched it and you've come to a different conclusion, then that says something about how the facts do not seem to be able to pierce your veil of anti-Semitism. Yeah.
Yes. Well, this is, as Rock Ape says, this is England, not Pakistan or Mecca. And this is the problem. Our weakness and wokeness and tolerance has insisted that we become what we're not, to prove that we are acceptable humans. We are nice. Yeah, we are nice. If we completely change to what other people do, that proves that we are good. To me, it doesn't. It proves that other people who are forcing us to do it, they're the bad people. So, yeah.
Jeff, by the way, I've just been reading in the Daily Mail, the bookies reveal new odds on Trump's chances of winning Nobel Peace Prize after Gaza-Israel ceasefire breakthrough. I won't actually go. It's 5-2. Yeah. Okay. So that,
right. Okay. Odds on.
Yeah. What I will say, I was reading something, I can't remember which paper, which was very interesting, that Trump has done something that nobody else has been able to do. Biden certainly couldn't do it, but then again, Biden couldn't tie his own bloody shoelaces.
He couldn't find his shoelaces.
He doesn't know what a shoelace is. But more to the point, though, that and also Obama couldn't have done it. And people say Obama, but Obama wasn't the president. Are you so sure? Are you so sure that Obama wasn't the president? Who do you think was pressing the buttons? Who do you think was running America? Do you think it was Joe Biden? Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So he's done something that those idiots, the Democrats, could not achieve. That's for sure. And there's just been so much silence right now on the left about this this peace deal because they don't want it. Let's face it, the left do not want this peace deal. Not really.
No, I don't think they do. It's more to do with destroying the UK, the West, in fact, because it is a bit of a coordinated event, isn't it? It's more about destroying the West than it is about anything else at all. They have plans they want to use. Basically, it's a sort of a religious and leftist get together, and they're hoping that when all the rubble falls and it's all settled, that they're the last one left standing. The trouble is that each one of those two has got the other side to deal with at that point, if they get that far. Our job is to stop them getting that far in the first place, stop them destroying our country, stop them destroying our heritage. That's what we've got to do. We've got to stop them getting there using political means, of course.
Do you know what, Jeff? I got to say, there's a commentary. Don't put it up, but saying refuse to speak to any Muslim. Yeah. Okay. So I was watching. I mean, I don't agree with that. I'll tell you why. Because I know some great Muslim people. And there's another point here as well, which has to be said. And I have to do this as a Christian, because as a Christian, I have to say this. I was watching, was it Bob from Speaker's Corner? And there was a Muslim gentleman who had been there and who had debated with him, but also listened to what Bob was saying, and all of a sudden now he's become a Christian. I'm sorry, as Christians, our job is to spread the gospel, the word of Christ. That's what we have to do. And that goes for any religion. It's not just Islam. I don't really want to point too much of a finger at Islam. It gives it too much credence when there's only one religion that, in my opinion, no, not in my opinion, period, as a fact, has any credence, and that is Christianity. It is the truth. That's it. It's how the West was built. It's the morals of Christianity underpin society, but there's something which underpins that as well, and that's your own personal relationship with Jesus Christ. End of. And I'm sorry, we desperately need to be reaching out, not just to Muslims, but to all faiths, to all people, to atheists, anyone. Because here's the thing. On your last breath, who are you going to be? Do you honestly think? I mean, I'm somebody who's had 2 experiences of being close to death, and like really close to death, and they weren't good ones. And this is before I became a Christian, and they weren't good. And I saw something terrifying, something horrific. I experienced. I'm not going to go fully into details, but now as a Christian, I have a hope. I have hope. And all of you watching this now today, look, the Jeff Taylor channel, Jeff, myself, we're just, we don't matter. What matters is what you do with your life and for the rest of eternity. That's the most important thing. And we can't get around that. And that's something that our forefathers in this country understood. Those people who built Britain, they understood that Christ is the axiom point of reality. The only hope that you have. And I know some of you go, I'm not listening to this, blah, blah, blah. I was listening to Tommy Robinson, or I sent it to you, Jeff, an interview that he was doing. And look, I'm sorry, this is the way
he's listening. Tommy Robinson is listening.
Oh, yes. And he was talking about the Holy Spirit, about somebody's encounter with the Holy Spirit. And he said he wants that. He wanted that. I didn't watch all the interview, so I don't know. I don't know if he has had an encounter with the Holy Spirit yet. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But please understand that this is the most important thing you can do with your life. And if my life, me doing this was to mean anything, and it was to end tomorrow, if one of you were to go to church and give your life to Jesus Christ, then my life and my entire career and everything that's led up to this point in time would have been worth it, just to save one soul. And that's the way we've got to be. I'm sorry, Jeff and I talk a lot about some of the terrible things that happen in this world. And there are some terrible things happening in this world and in this country. But if we're real, if we're absolutely real, the fact of the matter is, those things are not that important when pushed against the truth. And the truth is, you have to save your soul. And Christ is King. Christ is King. End of. Jeff.
Yeah, too right. Thank you Gary Payne once again, and thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. God bless
Very
you.
Nice. So at the end of the day, our country is under pressure, and our country is basically under attack from police. A lot of these leftists, you can call them leftists, whatever you like. They just don't like this society, and they don't like us, and they want to control us, and that's the end of it. So I say no, and I say, because I go to church, and I think it is. Just go. It's the biggest revolution out there. It's a revolution waiting to happen. Yes. And it's right there in front of us. We're not doing anything new. This is rediscovering the revolution. And
this is bigger than Reform. A lot of people think have faith in politics. This is bigger than Reform UK, Advance UK. This is the biggest thing of all. Now, one of the comments I just saw, it said it's not an option because of what's happening in the Church of England. That's the Church of England. Don't go there. Don't go there till if ever they get their act together. Don't go there. You can see it has collapsed. Anglicanism has completely collapsed. Protestantism, it's gone. It's over. It's finished. So I recommend Orthodox Church. I recommend there are many other different churches out there which are worth visiting. Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's absolutely right. Anyway, I'm feeling that I need a drink, old chap. And I think we've covered a lot today. And all I can say is that, as I've said, these people are out to stop our way of life. They want to control us. They want to change everything. They want your memories wiped of anything except their control. No history, no heritage, no heritage or anything like that at all. You are theirs to control. They will control you via their central bank digital currencies, their ID card systems. You will have to comply. We have to say no. That their route is a satanic route. We have to say no. It's our duty. Anyway.
Yes. So one or two other things here, Jeff, is I'm seeing some of the comments here. That look, aside from naming specific denominations of churches, just get on your knees and pray. That's what you have to do as an individual. If you can do that, and cry out to God and to Jesus to be your savior. Honestly, I'm sorry. I know this is going incredibly evangelical, but I've seen too much. I've seen too much in this world of what happens when you remove that. I've seen it. I've seen what it does to people when people lose Christ, when they turn away from Christ, when they had Christ. I've seen how it's changed them, and it's not for the better. Please, I know many of you will disagree with me on this, but there we go. You come here to see two guys speaking their minds and their hearts and the truth to the Jeff Taylor channel. We're not exactly polished, neither of us. We are raw. We are who we are, and that's our thoughts. Anyway, over to you, Jeff. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Like, subscribe, and become a channel member. And here's another thing. During the week, I don't know if we're going to get to do it tomorrow, but during the week next week, after we do our live streams, we will be doing short live streams straight after, about 10 minutes later, for the channel members as well. Just a little, debrief, after show, not party. We don't exactly party at our age, do we, Jeff?
Kickback, a bit of a...
Yeah, a bit of a kickback. So it won't be too long. It'll be about 10 minutes.
Except on Monday and Tuesday, I will be reporting from Westminster
London.
Magistrates Court.
Yes.
The Tommy Robinson trial, where he is being accused of committing a terrorist offence by not handing his personal identification number over to the police so they could get right inside his phone and find out what information he has about official goings on with the grooming gangs and all that sort of thing. So that will be an interesting couple of days, I think.
Well, yeah, yes. I don't know. I just think that this whole thing, they just try, again, it's lawfare. They're just trying to use it against Tommy to make with all these different bloody excuses. They're going to try and think of some reason why it's so vital that they see what's on Tommy's phone. Well, I have another friend, a mutual friend of ours, actually, Jeff, whose phone was seized as he was going through the airport security. He was taken in under the Terrorism Act. And, we're talking about a bloody decent, politically involved individual, just a decent guy who's just been pulled aside on this. And, it's in fact, two friends of ours have been pulled aside on it. So, there we go.
Yes.
Okay, Jeff. Right, yes. I've got my best mate coming up to help me with a sofa as well. I got a sofa to get rid of, so he's hopefully coming up soon. But thank you everyone for tuning in. And yes, next week, probably later on next week, now thinking about it, we will be doing after show live stream continuations, as I say, a kickback session just afterwards. Where Jeff and I will. For the members. We've got to give something back to those guys. Thank you so much for everyone who supports us on the membership. And thank you to everyone who supports us via Patreon, PayPal, and just
really
thank you all so much.
It all helps.
Yes, it does.
Right, and on that note, I shall say it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him, from Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.
Goodbye.